this is part of the problem in this country. Because we all yap, 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 and won't get one bit of information to support our yap. Marijuana was made illegal in America in 1937 for the Marijuana Tax Act. Not because it was an illicit substance, because you couldn't track the seeds across state lines. One person made it his life's work to ensure that cannabis was made illegal. His name was Henry Anslinger. Henry Anslinger was what we considered our first drug czar. He's the person who pushed along with William Randolph Hearst and the DuPonts to ban marijuana growing, hemp growing. Why? They were too busy cutting down big trees. They understood that if you allowed hemp to grow, you'd be continuing to make paper and clothing, and we would have stopped something called the textile industry, making clothing out of solvents. Instead, we could have continued to make them naturally. But I want you to hear one of Henry Anslinger's testimonies on the congressional steps as to why he believed marijuana should be made illegal. Marijuana makes Negroes look a white person in the eye, step on a white man's shadow, and want to have sex with white women. He then again stated on the congressional steps that marijuana should be banned because it makes white women want to have sex with Negroes and Hispanics. For the next 30 years of his life, he continued his battle until he got the UN to ban cannabis and hemp trade worldwide. 1961. Our marijuana laws were based on and built off of those. And then you wonder why today you have to add and wait until this bill passes to pass some legislation that's compassionate to people who were arrested under this premise. Is there any surprise in America today that 85% of all marijuana arrests are African American? When its whole reason for being banned was to stop interactions, there should be no question why, since they didn't win that way, let's just go ahead and lock them up. So, again, this is information that's available. And just like what Mary said, $20,000, I have seen and looked at, registered over 45,000 studies, reports, and currently in this country today, you don't even know this. For the last 4 years, this country has been funding research in Israel. We gave Dr. Meshulam our highest award from NIDA for cannabis research. We own the patent for THC and CBD. We, the United States government. In the last now 4 years, they've issued over 18 patents. So anybody who says that we need to do more research, we don't issue a patent unless the claims are viable. Our governments acknowledge the claims on cannabinoids, and it's not just THC, CBD, it's CBN1, CBN2, CBD1. We know now less than we should know because there's been a ban on research in this country. But we're probably going to figure out that there's well over 100, it might be 200 cannabinoids. And just like tamoxifen and other plant-based medicines, it needs to be researched so we can understand its value and how it can be used. I'm going to say one more thing. We literally, this is probably the most hypocritical issue facing our country today. We will allow the sale of anything and everything we can sell, knowing that right now today, since 1999 to 2010, deaths from overdoses of prescription medication are the #1 killer of Americans, exceeding car accidents and gun incidents. Both. Prescription medication. We'll hear counselors say, oh, we don't know. We need to have more research. The same counselors who now are part of the problem and not part of the solution. Because I keep seeing rehab people say no, no, no to marijuana, but I still see prescription medication abuses going up. So what do they know? We hire them as experts. They haven't even made a dent in what they consider to be the expert issue. But I'll come back to one last one. Right now at home, all those people that are watching the screen right now, I'm going to tell you a little story. You have in your home a drug right now that's not scheduled. It's not Schedule 1, not Schedule 2, not Schedule 3. It's the only drug in this country that's not scheduled. One of the most deadly substances on the planet. Right now today, any parent here can send their child to 7-Eleven, Walmart, Costco, grocery store, say, why don't you go pick me up a couple bottles of that and bring it home. Child can walk into the store, buy those bottles, come home, and if mom and dad aren't home, if that child takes that pill and overdoses on them, they'll bleed to death on your kitchen floor. We sell it indiscriminately. Don't even question the sale to children. What's the drug?
Aspirin.
Aspirin. Made from willow bark of a willow tree. And back in the early 1900s, a very smart company got together and said, we want to stop people from dying on their bathroom floors from cooking their own willow bark. So a company called Bayer Aspirin created a way to put those things in a little pill, patented it, and been selling it ever since. Probably one of the greatest breakthroughs of all time, right? Aspirin, right? Simple drug. I'm asking, really? Do you think? Same company, Bayer Aspirin, is a company that's partnered with GW Pharmaceutical that right now has a drug in the FDA called Setabex, which is a marijuana sublingual spray made from marijuana. And Bayer Aspirin, the country that's led us for the last the company that's led us for the last 115 years, is now trying to lead you down the path of cannabis. Clearly, the research must work. Stop the stupid. Get the patients off the battlefield. Please. Thank you.